Hey guys, so we are online. Dan, do you have me back? Okay, good, great. All right, so we are on, and tonight we're starting. Oh, okay, we're starting a new series tonight, and but we're going to do a game first. Hannah's going to tell you how to play the game. You'll need to listen pretty intently to how to play the game. If you've never played this game before, it could be a little complicated, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun. It is called Mafia. If you've ever played Mafia, well, we're going to play the Zoom version of Mafia. That's what we're going to do. So that's our plan. Mafia is the name of the game. All right, so Hannah, are you ready? All right, guys, so Hannah's going to tell you how to play the game.
Okay. So, for Mafia, what we're gonna have basically two teams, and you're gonna know your team based on your private messages on this Zoom chat. So does everyone know how to look at the chat on Zoom?
Shake your head.
Shake your head, yes or no, because we muted you. If you don't know how to look at the chat on Zoom, shake your head this way.
All right.
Okay, we're gonna assume you know how to look at the chat on Zoom. So, oh, good. From Hollis, he does.
Yes, awesome. Maddie does. Awesome. Great, great, great. Luke, yes, perfect.
Okay, so.
Okay, I'm going to mute you again so everybody can hear. I hate that. Okay.
Okay, here's the situation. Y'all have to listen because this will probably be the most complicated game we play on Zoom. It's really fun, but it's got a lot of steps. So I'm going to separate you into two teams. I'm going to private message you on Zoom what team you're on. So there's two teams. There's a Mafia and there's a townspeople. And if you're a townsperson, you're normal. But if you're a Mafia, the object of the game is to try to kill off all of the townspeople. So the game will work by, we'll start with everybody will close their eyes, and I'm going to keep my eyes open. So if you open your eyes, then I'm going to tell you you're out of the game, you're not going to play. And then I will tell the Mafia, the people that I choose for the Mafia, to open their eyes, and you're going to send me a private message just to me. You can change who your messages are.
Well, actually, it would be going to me, to my computer.
It's going to Mark's computer. So Send it just to Mark, change it to just Mark, and you're going to send me the name of two people that you want to kill off on the Zoom call. And so what that means is the Mafia is going to pick one person to kill off. There's going to be a few people in the Mafia, so you're going to send me two names, and I'm going to pick the one person that has the most votes. So, for example, if there are 3 people in the Mafia, all 3 people are going to private message me 2 names, and out of those, I'll have 6 names. So whoever's named, if there's a name listed twice or 3 times, that person will get killed off. I'm not going to do the share.
That's fine.
Okay.
Yep, simple.
So then we will wake everybody up, and I will tell you who is killed off, and then you guys as a group have to decide who is one person in the Mafia to get rid of. So let's say that I say that JJ is the Mafia, so I decide to kill off JJ. Well then, JJ is going to tell us if he was a Mafia or a townsperson. And the purpose of the game is to eventually kill off all of the Mafia, or for the Mafia, once you have 1 Mafia left and 2 townspeople, so there's only 3 people total, then the Mafia wins. Is that confusing? Yes. Cool. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to pick my Mafia real quick, and then I'm going to send you a message. If you do not get a message from me, then you are a townsperson. If you get a message from me, then you are Mafia. So I'm sending a couple of people a message right now.
It says Mafia.
And it's just, I'm gonna explain it again once I've picked my people. So if you get a message from me, don't tell anybody, don't say anything.
Hold on, Brooklyn. We're going to explain it again.
I'm gonna explain it one more time.
Yep.
Okay, I've sent a message to a few people. If those people got my message, it'd be cool if you could if you can reply, great. If not, I'm just going to move on and pretend that you know you're the Mafia. So, what I'm going to say is everybody's going to close their eyes. So let's do a practice round, okay? Everybody close your eyes. All right, if I sent you a message and told you that you're the mafia, open your eyes. Okay, if you are the mafia, I want you to send me a private message and tell me the names of 2 people on this call that you want to kill off. So if you're a townsperson, keep your eyes closed. If you're a mafia, send me a message with 2 names of people you want to kill off. The only rule is you can't kill me off, because I'm not playing. If you don't know people's names, there should be like a name in the bottom left-hand corner or something.
Yeah, or, yeah. That's right. You right. All right.
And just keep your eyes closed and we'll move forward.
Right here.
All right, I got one from a mafia member. We've got some names, so I'm just waiting on 2 more people.
We got look right here, right here.
All right, we might have some.
We have 2 people whose names are in common out of the 3. Right here, and then look right here. So 1, 2,
Oh, wait, no, we
1,
don't.
2, 3.
All right,
Are you
we
killing?
have somebody. So if you're mafia, close your eyes. If you're townspeople, close your eyes. And mafia, everybody close your eyes. All right, everybody can open their eyes now. Unfortunately, Luke, I'm so sorry, you have been killed off by the mafia. So you're gonna stay on our call, but you've been eliminated. So, everybody on the call, now you have, we're gonna time you. You have 30 seconds to talk and decide one person that you think is on the mafia. All right, so go ahead, y'all talk and tell me who you think is on the mafia. Y'all have to all decide on one person together. No, you can keep your eyes open for this part.
All right.
So here's the thing. If you are a townsperson and a mafia, if you are somebody on this call, if you're on the mafia, you need to talk like you're a townsperson because you don't want people to know that you're on the mafia. But if you're just a townsperson, then you need to talk right now to try to figure out who the mafia is. So everyone is trying to protect themselves. So y'all need to have a discussion and you need to decide one person because somebody killed Luke. Y'all are trying to decide who killed Luke. You're gonna tell me who you think that person is, and then we will tell you if that person is a townsperson or a mafia, and if you're winning or losing.
Oh, they can't hear each other because they're muted.
Oh, hold on.
I'm sorry, I'm unmuting. You're good. Go ahead, guys. Go ahead.
JJ sent it to everybody, so he instantly killed himself basically because he sent his vote to everybody and not just one person.
Bro, that seems legit, not gonna lie. Seems like sense of the mafia.
JJ has it.
It's just him.
I didn't finish this one right here.
No, don't finish it.
Okay.
Brooklyn, we've unmuted everybody, so I'm not sure why it says you're still muted.
You're unmuted now, Brooklyn. Try it now. Talk to us. Brooklyn, can you talk to us?
That's not because he did.
All right. Who's your one person? Who do we think is the mafia?
Adrian, this is
All right, so guys, we need a name of one person who's the mafia.
Okay, I have a vote. I have one vote for Adrian. Who else? JJ? All right, if you're voting for Adrian, raise your hand.
In the screen.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, okay, so 3. If you're voting for JJ, raise your hand.
1, 2.
I only see 2 for Adrian. No, for JJ. Those are JJ.
JJ. Yeah.
All right. So Adrian, unfortunately, Adrian, were you a townsperson or were you in mafia?
I killed myself off. That's just
Hey, so Adrian, were you a townsperson or a mafia? Mafia. So y'all were right.
All right, so right now, the townspeople are winning, so we're gonna do this all again. Adrian, since you got voted out, you don't get to try to kill anybody anymore, I'm sorry. So, you are still dead, so right now, I'm sorry, you can't, the mafia cannot kill Adrian or Luke, they are both out. So, everybody close your eyes again, we're gonna do another round.
Are the same people picking?
Yeah, it's the same, mafia doesn't change.
Okay, so the mafia stays the same.
So everybody's eyes are closed. Mafia doesn't change. So Mafia, you can go ahead and open your eyes. Send a private message to Mark only.
Yeah, only to me.
2 names. Once you send me your 2 names, we'll find the votes and we will
Mafia
fill some
doesn't
out.
change. So Mafia,
I'm trying.
go ahead and open your eyes and send a private.
All right, I've gotten 1 so far.
Sorry, Dan.
I need 1 more message from our Mafia members. All right, we've got somebody. Everybody close your eyes. And now everybody can open. Alrighty. So the Mafia it was unanimous. We voted off Nathan. So Nathan, I'm so sorry. You have been killed. So everybody else, we're gonna give you 30 seconds to talk about it. Decide on 1 person that you want to kill off.
Decide.
Yeah, you can open your
Our eyes are open. Everybody's just discussing now who you think the mafia person is.
No, but I mean, like, since I'm not mafia or anything, I can just leave my eyes open, right?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, you and Luke can't really play anymore, so if you're all leave your eyes open, it's fine.
Okay. 15 seconds. 15 seconds. I gotta speed it up. Okay.
Because I was eating dinner. What happened?
All right, let me take our vote real quick, and then I'll catch you up, Grayson.
Yep. 1 second.
All right, I need a name. Who are we voting out?
Who do we think is a mafia person?
I didn't get any names, guys.
Who do y'all think is a mafia person now? Hollis says he is.
Okay. Hollis, we just unmuted you. Maddie's is muted too. I don't know if that's on purpose or not. All right, I got votes for JJ. If you are voting that JJ is mafia, I need a hand. I've got 1, 2, 3. Okay, if you did not vote for JJ and you want to vote
Got
for
Maddie and
somebody
Luke
else-
raised their hands here.
Okay, that's 4 then.
4,
Okay,
mhm.
4. We've got 4 for JJ. JJ, I'm so sorry. What were you?
JJ's mafia. All right. Okay, guys, we got 1 more round.
All right, this is the last round. Here's the deal. Here's the last round.
Here's the way it's played.
This is the last round. We have 1 more mafia member. So we're gonna kill somebody else off, and y'all get 1 chance to guess who the mafia is. If you guess wrong, then the mafia wins. If you guess right, then the townspeople win, okay? So if you are, actually everybody close your eyes. All eyes are closed, Okay, if you are the mafia, please go ahead and send me a message with 2, well, actually, you're the last one, so you can kill off whoever you want. Everybody's eyes are closed, except for the mafia.
Right here.
All right.
We got it.
Eyes closed, everybody. Eyes closed. All right, everybody can open their eyes. This is our last round, so this one's really important. I need one name, so I need y'all to pick one person that you think is the mafia. We've killed off Weston. So sorry, Weston. The mafia chose to kill you off. All right, so I need some suggestions.
Give us somebody.
Hold on. There's some people muted. Let me unmute everybody.
They are unmuted. Okay.
Yeah, she just sent me a message that says I'm muted. Actually, she sent it to everybody.
Okay.
Sorry, y'all.
All right. So,
Yeah, if you've been killed off, you can't vote.
all right. So let's have a name. We need a name.
Who do you think it is?
Y'all aren't giving us any names.
Imagine JJ typing it into the chat. Okay, be quiet about that.
All right, who is still, okay, Ethan, you're still on. Ethan, who do you think it is? Brooklyn? Okay, I have a vote for Brooklyn.
It's not.
Let's see. Brooklyn, who do you think it is?
Wait, who's all on?
Right now,
I'm dead.
your options are Ethan and Hollis and Maddie. And is this Yasmin and Patty?
Yep.
Let's go, Yasmin. Everything's
Okay, so there's a vote for Yasmin.
All
I've
right.
got a vote for Brooklyn and a vote for Yasmin. Any other people want to vote? All right, if you're voting for Brooklyn, raise your hand. Okay, we're gonna vote for 3 people. If you're voting for Brooklyn, raise your hand.
There's one.
1, 2.
2.
We've got 2 for Brooklyn. Okay, if you're voting for Yasmin, raise your hand. Just 1. If you're voting for Maddie, raise your hand.
so stupid.
1.
Was that one?
I don't know. Who is that? Well, Luke can't play. He's out.
Okay, so
I said
2.
just-
All right, one more time. So if you're voting Brooklyn, raise your hand.
Brooklyn, raise your hand. There's 1. I see 1.
Oh, we got one?
Okay, Yasmin,
Maddie is right here. Is her hand.
1, and then for Maddie.
1.
How about DJ? Hey DJ, break our tie. Who do you think it is? Unmute him. Be our
It smells like wood.
untie person. What? Say that again?
I think Maddie.
Maddie? All right. Okay, Maddie, so who are you?
You were.
Okay, guys, so the townspeople won. We'll play that one again. That one was cool.
All right.
You want to tell them?
Yeah, I'll tell them what's going on.
Guys, that was awesome.
All right, guys, so let me tell you what's happening. We're going to get ready to start a large group, but let me just give you a couple of things while we get ready. We're going to have Dan. Hey, guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to mute you while I'm talking, that way everybody can hear. So anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to start large group. Dan, if you'll make sure the volume is up on for our video and everything, I appreciate that. And we're going to be on YouTube, and we're going to stay right here. We're going to keep you muted. You're welcome to watch right here, and I'm going to step up on the stage just for some lighting, so we can see from the YouTube. It's a little difficult to see down here on the floor. But one thing I want to tell you about, and I'd like to unmute you if you guys can just hold your comments for a second, okay? So I'm going to unmute you for a second, so you can hold your comments, because I want to tell you what's going on, and we'll go from there. All right, so I've unmuted everybody. If you guys got my messages this week, I asked you a very important question. Weston, what did I ask you guys this week?
What's your favorite candy or something?
Yeah, what's your favorite candy or snack? And there was a reason why I did that, because I'm going to show you, I'm going to pull my screen down so you can see. Do you see all of these buckets down here on the floor? Do you see my buckets over here? All of these buckets are actually care packages for you guys that I put together this week. And so that's why I was asking what your favorite snack food or your favorite candy bar was. So I have all of these care packages I've put together, and I'm going to be delivering them. But this is really important. I have to know where to deliver them to. So I need to know what house to deliver them to. I'm planning to deliver these tomorrow afternoon. So if you will please message me I'm going to put my phone number down in the chat, and if you will message me or text me your address, so I have a place to deliver these, that would be awesome, okay? So my number is in the chat for everybody, and I hope that you guys enjoy it. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to mute you guys again. We're going to get ready to get started, and I'll be on stage for large group, and then you high school guys, I'm going to be leading you guys tonight in our Zoom time. Hannah will have the ladies, and Dan will have middle school guys. Eric is not feeling well, so if you guys will remember him, I'd appreciate that. That'd be a big deal for him. I know he's not feeling good. All right, so here we go. So what I want to do, guys, is I want to make sure that you can hear me. Hannah, do you mind coming down, just making sure everybody who's watching via Zoom can hear me? I know everybody on YouTube channel can. So Hannah's going to make sure you guys, I tell you what, looks like I can see Ethan from here. Ethan, would you put your hand there if you can hear me? Perfect. Okay, so I think everybody can hear me right now. Yeah, I know, Nathan. I know where you live, but I don't know where everybody lives, and it's just helpful to have an address. Okay, so let's get going, okay? I think we're set up now. Get Hannah, everybody out of the way. Perfect. Okay, cool. All right, so guys, we live in a world where we use two particular words very loosely. We live in a world where we use the word hate and love very loosely. And here's what I mean by that. You may say, how many of you love Lucky Charms cereal? If you love Lucky Charms cereal, put your hand up. Okay. How about Fruit Loops? Anybody love Fruit Loops? I'm a Fruit Loops person. I do not like Lucky Charms. How about Frosted Flakes or Corn Pops or anything like that? So we say things like that. We love these things like that. And then we say we hate things like Taylor Swift and Justin Bieber and that kind of stuff. And we use that word love and hate really loosely when we say that. Or you may say you love Marvel movies, but you hate cats, okay? So we live in this culture where it's a love-hate sort of thing. And love is such a big deal in our culture that the biggest movies always seem to have some love story attached to it. A lot of the music that we listen to talks about love. Last year, not this year, last year though, for Valentine's Day, we spent $20.7 billion on Valentine's Day. And then in the church, we talk about how God loves us and we're supposed to love one another. So this word love is a really big word in our culture, but we also live in a culture where we just throw this word hate around all the time. So we love things that are inanimate objects. We love them, but we hate people. And so it's back and forth. And so with that in mind, we're going to talk a little bit about this idea of love versus hate, or love and hate. And we're going to talk about that in the context of relationships, because we live in a world where we've elevated the word love and we've elevated the word hate to this place where we're really not sure what they mean. I mean, we make fun of celebrities and we bash TikTok stars and we even hate on people in our own lives, but we do that through, private text messages over our phone with other people. And we may not say it out loud, but all of us have opinions on everything and everyone. It's just where we are. So if love is such a big deal, then why does hate, and specifically hating on people, seem to be such a natural part of our lives? Why is that such a natural part of who we are? There's a lot of different ways that people hate on people, but because we have a limited amount of time tonight, we're going to talk about gossip, okay? We want to talk about gossip tonight. Now, before you kind of roll your eyes and you think, those people who gossip are the worst, I'm hating on anybody who hates on somebody else by gossiping. And the bottom line is that's all of us at some point. All of us at some point have gossiped about someone. And the thing is, for you students who are watching, adults are just as bad, okay? We are just as bad at doing that. We are always hating on people and people's ideas and their ideologies. And we might even be worse at it than teenagers, but our society and technology has made it so easy for us to gossip. You can text your gossip, you can Snapchat your gossip, you can exclude people who want to be included, and that's just a form of isolating them. It's sort of like judgment or gossip. And you may be thinking, I don't talk about other people, but I know people who do that all the time. But the truth is, at some point in time, we all do it. We've all gossiped about somebody. So when it comes to gossip, we all need to take a look in the mirror, and we need to evaluate ourselves, and we need to ask, are we contributing to this form of hate? Because it is a form of hate, and the Bible speaks specifically about this form of hate. Now, the truth is, because gossip is such a real part of our lives, we need to find out, why is that a part? Why do we judge people that way? Why do we spend our free time, and we don't have a lot of that, but why do we spend our free time talking about other people? Why do all of us have such a strong attraction to trash talking and gossiping or spilling the tea or whatever you want to call it about other people? And I think it's really because of the benefit that we find in it. I think a lot of us find benefit in gossip. And here's what I mean by that. We gossip out of insecurity. And what I mean by insecurities, and I put a list of these things up on the screen, but our insecurities is if we can point out what's wrong with other people, if we can point out their flaws, it helps cover up our flaws. Okay, it helps cover up the things that we're insecure about. And then another thing that gossip does is it helps us bond more easily with other people. I mean, there's no better way to get in with a group of people we want to get in with than by sharing some private information that we know about someone else, or connecting with them through that kind of conversation. And then sometimes we just gossip because it's fun. It's just a highly entertaining thing to do, to talk about someone or break news about somebody, because it makes us feel, it makes us have a laugh or have fun. For some of you guys, you'll gossip because it gives you a competitive advantage. Because if you can put somebody else down, or you can show somebody else's weaknesses, then again, it elevates you and it gives you that competitive advantage. And then there are times that you use gossip as a form of truth. Sometimes we justify talking about people with the facts that with what we're talking about is actually true. We think it's okay because the people we're talking about, we say they deserve it, or they brought it on themselves, and so we say things like, facts, and I'm just telling it like it is, but we use truth as a reason for gossip. And then the last one, and this is probably the one that we err on a lot of times. We use this as the justification of why we gossip. But sometimes we have good friends that we share everything with, and that includes telling them things about other people that we probably shouldn't tell them. But that's what we do. And like I said, gossip, it's not a teenage thing. It's not an adult thing. It's a people thing. We all know adults, teachers, coaches, students, fellow students. who share a little too much information. They tell more than they need to tell. We're all a part of the conversation. And on top of that, we live in a culture where they make shows and podcasts and YouTube channels that are dedicated to gossip about and hating on other people. I mean, there are celebrities, you guys know this, there are celebrities who are famous. And they are literally famous because people gossip about them all the time. They've never released an album. They're not actors in movies. They've never invented anything or done anything world-changing, but they seem to be a trending topic all the time. And it's kind of weird, right? But isn't it true that although gossip is a naturally accepted part of our culture, there's something inside all of us that knows gossip is not good, that gossip is not a good thing. And that especially comes to light when people are talking about you, when you are the subject of gossip. Now, if you haven't listened to anything, I want you to listen to this because this is really important, okay? This is a big deal for me because I'm going to share something I have never shared before. If you've ever been talked badly about, you know how terrible that makes you feel. It's not fun to be the subject of other people's conversations, and I want to tell you about a time when that happened for me. Probably the worst experience that I ever had with gossip was when I was in middle school. And when I was in middle school, I think I was around 6th grade or so, we were at what we did like after lunch. Like in elementary school, you had that time that you called recess. And in middle school, you don't call it recess, right? Because you're too cool to call it recess. So you don't call it recess. You just, it's whatever that time is after lunch, or it's tagged on to lunch, or it's just before lunch. So we're at that time that would have been recess when we were in elementary school, but now we're middle school, so we're too cool for that. And we're standing outside, and I'm on the side, we have this huge field outside our school, and I'm on the side that's closest to the school. And I'm actually by myself that particular day. I'm not hanging out with any friends because I didn't share that time with the friends that I hung out with most of the time that school year. So I'm just kind of hanging out by myself. And a teacher comes up and she goes, "Hey, I want you to come inside." And I had no clue what was going on. So I went with the teacher inside. And I didn't have a clue what was happening. Again, by myself. And so I walk in, and this is what I found out. There was a girl that I actually liked, thought she was a very nice girl. I liked her, and a mutual friend, somebody who I had shared with that I liked this girl, had told her friends that I liked her. And so her friends were harassing her about me liking her and harassing her that she liked me. So to prove to her friends that she didn't like me, she told the teacher that I tried to kiss her, okay? Now, that wasn't even something I was thinking about at that point in time, but that's what she told them. And even though it wasn't true, even though I wasn't around her, even though hadn't really taught her, and even though one of her friends came forward later and admitted the truth that I hadn't done anything like that, it took almost 2 years for that stigma to wear off. And by the way, I didn't like her anymore after that. But it took a long time for that to wear off. See, everyone knows gossip's a bad thing when the gossip is about them. And that's for all of us, okay? But in a culture like ours, a culture that loves to hate on people and hate on ideas, how is it even possible to stop when that's just a part of what we do? We've elevated these words to love and hate, and we don't even know what they mean anymore, but we use them all the time on other people, and it comes out in the form of gossip, and we've accepted that. So how do we even stop that? Well, the Apostle Paul, who dedicated his life to planting churches and telling people about Jesus, he would write these letters back to the churches that he had planted. And on one of those letters that we call the book of Ephesians, it was written to a group of people in an ancient city called Ephesus. And Ephesus was a bustling port city full of people from different cultures and different religions. It was the perfect setting to fuel gossip because you have all these different people who have different backgrounds and different cultures and that sort of thing. And there was plenty to talk about, plenty to disagree on, and plenty to judge other people on. But Paul wanted the Christians in Ephesus to operate differently than culture. So Paul wrote this letter to them, and he said, as followers of Jesus, your life should be unique. You shouldn't live like that. Here's what he says. He says, do not let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouth. Do not let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouth. In this one sentence, Paul makes it clear that unwholesome talk is not supposed to be a part of our life. Now, some of us read that, some of you read that, and you think unwholesome means, well, I shouldn't cuss. And that's true, but what Paul's saying actually means more than just that. It's more than just don't use a specific set of words. If we were to look at the original meaning of the word unwholesome, it means rotten. If you think about, you leave the trash in your house too long and you don't take it out like you're supposed to or like you've been asked to, and the trash starts smelling, things in there are starting to rot. It's that idea, okay? This is a great word to describe what gossip does or what gossip is. Gossip is talk that rots relationships. It's talking trash or gossiping that rots relationships, and it rots friendships, and it rots our reputations. And that's not what we want to produce with our lives. We don't want to be people who put out this rotten vibe. Okay, when we talk about people or participate while someone else does that, when we're listening in, what we're actually contributing to is the rotting of some things that matter most to us and the people around us. In fact, not only does it rot things around you, it actually might be an indication that there's something unwholesome inside of you. Okay, so you have something unwholesome in your heart. And Jesus himself talked about that. He said, it's not what goes into your body that defiles you. You are defiled by what comes from your heart. Okay, and he says that in Mark chapter 7. According to Jesus, what comes out of you says a lot about what's inside of you. More than the words you speak, it's about the motivation that causes you to say certain things and participate in certain conversations. Okay, so more than the words you speak, gossip speaks to the motivation that causes you to say those things or to participate in certain conversations. It's really an issue of the heart. So Paul gives us an alternative to the unwholesome gossip. He says in Ephesians 4, he says, do not let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouth, but only what is helpful for building others up according to their need, that is, that it may benefit those who listen. In other words, Paul says, if you choose to put the needs of others ahead of your own, and when you think about who a person is instead of just judging them, you'll stop yourself from gossip. You'll think about them before you speak about them. See, if you choose to build others up, if you choose to care about their needs and help them, you'll choose words that benefit them instead of words that bash them. And I get that it's a lot easier. That's a lot easier said than done because we're in a world where hating on people is literally a pastime. People make a living at it, okay? It can actually be a career path for people. It's hard to be the guy, it's hard to be the girl who chooses wholesome over unwholesome. But it's also one of the best decisions that we make because what you say about others says a lot about you. Okay, I mean, think about it. You know people who trash talk their friends. You know people who spread rumors. You know people who always have a mean joke to make about somebody else. When you think about that person, you think about that part of them, it seems like hating on people is what they're about. I mean, it's like that's their motivation, that's their attitude. And you probably know people who are exactly the opposite. You know people who refuse to hate on people. You know people who walk away from gossip whenever it's happening. Chances are, when you think about them, you think positive things about them. See, it's easy to respect those kind of people. So when it comes to your conversations, it isn't really a question of what you say or not say. The real question is, what do you want to be all about? What do you want to be all about? Do you want to be known as someone who loves others, or do you want to be known as a hater, someone who trashes people and builds them up? Okay, so come on, if you go out of your way to hurt people, you have a heart problem anyway. I mean, it doesn't matter how bad a person might be. It doesn't even matter if they've hurt you or they're doing something against you. If you are intentionally hurting other people, that says something about your heart, about where you are. But the good news is that it's your choice. You get to make a decision, okay? You got to decide who you want to be and what you want to be known for. So here's my question to you. What is it that you want to be known for? For those of you who follow Jesus, you get to decide who you want to be and what you want to be known for. And he wants his people to be known for love and not for hate. Just because gossip is fun, just because gossip is the thing your friends do, just because gossip is something that's kind of funny, it doesn't mean that it's worth participating in, not when your character, what people think of you, is at stake. Instead, you and I can choose to be about something else. We can seek the kind of reputation that Paul talked about, one where we're known as people who use words to help others and build others up and make their needs a priority. We simply choose love over hate. We choose love over hate. I mean, think of it this way. Let love be what you're all about. Let love be what you're all about. Of all the things we could be known for, let's start with the thing that Jesus said was the greatest. He said, love is the greatest. It's the most important thing. And this starts way before the words come out of your mouth. Okay, it starts with us deciding to care about other people no matter what they do. You know, it then transfers to our words. We all have a way of deciding what to say. None of us would ever admit this, but deep down, we know we sometimes decide what to say by answering these kind of questions. Well, will it be funny? Will it make me look cool? Will it make me look smart? Is it mostly true? Will it make me fit in with other people? Those are filters that lead to unwholesome, rotten words. Before we know it, something rotten is spreading in our relationships, and it came from our mouths. Okay? We need to ask a different question. And so Paul gives us a new question to ask. And Paul's question is so simple. Is this helpful? In other words, before you say anything, before you and I say anything, we need to ask the question, is it helpful? In fact, we can put it into practice immediately. You can start that today at home with your parents or with your siblings. You can start that with friends that you're talking to later today. You know, right now, you guys, you're out of an environment because school's not, you know, where you can guys gather. You're out of an environment where that can happen a lot, but it can still happen. It still can be a part of your life. Because you still use your phone and you're still texting and you're still using other social media and forms of communication. Okay, but you can make a decision today to make a difference. In fact, tonight, as we go into our small groups, you can even start there by being careful what you say. Asking the question, is this helpful? All we have to do is ask, will these words build or be helpful? Will they build others up? Will this make someone's life better if I choose to use these words? If we choose to be all about love and we use that question as a filter, the words we shouldn't use should become pretty clear to us. So imagine for just a moment, here's what I want you to think about as we close up, okay? Imagine for just a moment if all of us in our group chose to let love be what we're all about. Just imagine if the 20 or so of us that are a part of this group, what if we decided we're going to only ask this question before we speak about people or to people? Is what I'm going to say going to be helpful? If it's not going to be helpful, I'm not going to say it. But just imagine if we would do that. What would happen if we would do that in our community, in our friendships, in our youth group, in our relationships at school? Okay, what would happen? And what about this? What would happen if one church, just one church in York, okay, refused to judge, to hate, to talk bad, and gossip about other people? What if one group of people from one church would make that decision? And imagine if we chose to be people who use words to help and build others up. It would impact everyone we come in contact with. It could transform our community. In fact, it may just change the view that some people have of Christians. Imagine if Christians were known for being all about love instead of being about judging. How much more appealing that would make God to people. How much more magnetic would the church be to people? How much more would they want to be a part of? How much more would people around us want to know Jesus if we acted like the thing he said was most important, which is love? What if we acted like it really is most important? So here's where we are. All of us get to decide whether we'll be known for being about love or being someone who loves to hate. You have to decide, let love be what you're all about. So let's let love be what we're all about. All right, so we're going to pray, and then I want to talk to you for a quick second about our small group questions, and I'll go over a couple other things, and then we're going to jump into our small group time. If you're not on Zoom, I see some of you trying to get on Zoom, so Hannah, you want to come down and accept some Zoom people? I'm going to pray. If you're trying to get on Zoom, just a second, we'll get you in, and we'll get you guys divided up into your small groups. So let me pray for us. Father, thank you for today, and thank you for the opportunity that we have to have this time together. This is, I know, unique and different and strange and crazy, but I'm glad we can get together anyway. And God, I just thank you for these students, and I pray that your hand will be upon them, that you bless them, and that God, during this time that maybe they're not influenced by other people as much, I pray that this would be a time that they could get control of this idea of gossip in their lives, that God, they could learn to put love over hate. And I pray, God, that by doing so, it would draw people to them, people who want to know more about Jesus, people that want to know more about our student group, about our church, and about why we live the way we live. God, I pray that you would move and work in that. And I just give you all this in the name of Jesus. Amen. All right, guys, we're going to unmute the chat or the calls, but here's what I need you to do. If you'll hold your conversation for just a second, and let me just give you a couple of things. I'm going to step down a little bit, and we can talk a little bit more and go from there. All right, so here's where we are, guys. I'm going to be able to get us connected into our groups in just a minute, and these are our small group questions. They're on the screen. I'm going to put them or have them on the screen for you. Is that, maybe it's here, hold on. It's not there. Maybe it's echoing from the room, so I don't know. Here are the small group questions though for tonight, okay? I'm gonna mute it so maybe it won't come back through. Patty, I'm getting Patty back on there, okay? So I'm gonna mute and see if that changes anything. All right, so everybody can hear me? If you can hear me, nod. Can you hear me? Brooklyn, can you hear me? Brooklyn, can you hear me? Okay, I see you talking, so I guess you can hear me. Great. Maddie, can you hear me? Throw a hand in the air. Very perfect. Okay, and who is that? Patty, got her. Okay. All right, guys, so here's the deal. The small group questions for tonight, the first one's this. Think about a character on a TV show or a movie that is known for hating on others. Would you want that person in your group of friends? Why or why not? So I think it's a real practical question, again, because we live in this world where people, let me get Luke back on there, where we live in a world where people actually have become famous because people gossip about them. So think about that. Number two, when does gossip or hating on others feel like a big deal, and when does it not? So you guys can talk about that in your group setting. Then talk about a time when you participate in gossip and you regretted it. How did it affect your friendship with the person you gossiped about? And then think about the Ephesians 4 passage that we read, which is an awesome passage. Let no unwholesome word proceed from your mouth, but only what is profitable or for building up other people. So think about that. And as you think about that particular question, how would you define unwholesome or rotten talk in the world that you live in, where you are, people that you're in relationship with? The next question is, how would your relationship change if you asked yourself the question, is this helpful before you speak? Number 6, what kind of person do you want to be known for in your friend group? Okay, do you want to be known as somebody who is helpful, or do you want to be known as somebody who's all about hating others? What would we want our small group to be known for? So think about your small group. Okay, the group of people you're going to meet with tonight. What would you want that group to be known for? Okay. Then last question. Imagine we were the kind of small group that gossips about each other. What would our small group look like by the end of the year? Now imagine that our group is a group that never gossips about one another. What would our group look like? Okay, so those are your questions. All right, I'm going to unmute you, and I want to make one more comment about your care packages, okay? So I'm unmuting everybody. So here's the deal. Remember, I have care packages for everybody. These things are full of all kinds of stuff. Not just things that you might think would be in there, but things you wouldn't expect. Okay, and I want to make sure everybody gets one. So, again, you need to text me your address. If I've never been to your house and you know I've never been to your house, please text me. If you're uncertain, text me. All right? So I'm going to put my cell number in the box again at the bottom, the chat. All right? Oh, I just texted Grayson privately. Sorry, Grayson, that's for everybody. 803-984-510. All right, somebody's dog's barking. Okay, so I want to separate you guys into groups, and I've only done this one time. So if you will give me a second, I'm going to create some groups here. Yes, you need to. Give me 1 second. Dan, I'm making you a host.
You can make Patty a host if you want to.
Well, I'm trying to figure out how to do this. All right, give me a second, guys. Hey, everybody. All right, let me get you in your groups. Da, 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 da. Are you guys tired of being at home? Are y'all tired of being at home?
A little bit. Not really.
Yeah. So bored.
All right, guys, I'm trying to do this.
I like Dan's background though.
You feel like Dan, what?
Dance on the moon.
Who's on the moon? Who's on the moon? Who's on it?
Dance on the moon.
Okay. So, guys, give me 1 second. Let's see if we can make this happen. Dan, I'm going to try to make you a host and see if it only makes you the host, okay? I got to admit Weston again.
Bank has gone from suspicious to responsible.
So, Dan, are you there?
I'm here.
All right. Let's see if it put you. Oh, that just took me away from being a host. Okay, let me do this real quick.
Are there any girls still on?
Patty, Brooklyn, Maddie. Yeah, they're all on.
I'm kidding, it's Maddie. Maddie's here.
I say Maddie and
Here.
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn.
I think you muted
And,
it.
Ethan is muted.
oh, Nathan's also here, so.
Nathan's muted.
You muted Ethan. No, Ethan.
Ethan.
Yeah, Ethan is, yeah.
I don't have Ethan muted. Not from here. Oh, there we go.
Oh, right.
Why do I hear someone's Minecraft dog?
2 E's? Because Hollis changed his name to E.
Hang on.
I was wondering who was texting me to stop eating. Was that you, Nathan? Or was that Ethan, or was that Hollis?
It wasn't me.
But yeah, Mark, that the thing from Papa John's is pretty good. The Papa Dia thing.
Yeah?
It was pretty good.
Okay.
E.
All right, guys, I'm working on this. What is the deal here?
I'm going to stop YouTube. Is that good?
Yeah, you can stop YouTube. And then maybe I want to work your way up here.